One thing I cannot resist when I'm walking through a craft store is a coordinated paper pack. These are my downfall, especially if they're on sale. However, I have come to realize that I now have a stack that stands about 2.5 feet tall of unused patterned paper because I don't really like all of the papers that are in the pack. And I don't need a whole pack for what I'm creating at that moment. We're going to solve those problems today by creating our own patterns, our own coordinated packs. This is going to save you a ton of money and solve some storage issues. Hi, I'm Brenda Lambert. I'm a TJC licensed instructor for Silhouette. You've found your way to Silhouette success. Today we're learning how to start with a couple of elements and a background color or gradient and turn it into a coordinated pack that you can use in your projects over and over again. The good part is you only need to print off what you need for your project at that time. There's a ton of information in this video, so let's get started. Step one is gathering all of your assets. I'm using this rose gold gradient background. I am grabbing a vintage style bee and these black and cream colored roses. Now we can create the first few pages of our paper pack and our color palette at the same time. Let's grab a rectangle from our drawing tools, set that to 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12 if you have a wide format printer. I want a black background, a rose gold background, a lighter pink background, and possibly a cream colored from the roses. Now I'm going to create just one more. Let's duplicate our background so we have that handy still. We can center both of these. Open up the modify panel and choose crop. You can see that your design area fills up quickly while doing this, but that's okay. We already have 5 different pages to our paper pack and we can start adding to it now. Let's fit our design mat back to the window and work on our honeycomb pattern. I'm grabbing a polygon from my drawing tools and I'm going to pull that out and make sure that the bottom is straight. I can use this slider to bring it up to 6 sides. We want a hexagon. Now I can right click and convert this to path. I do want the line thickness brought up to 3.5 so that it has a nice outline. You can go a little bit thicker than this maybe, but I think that's okay for now because we're going to shrink this down just a little bit. Now at this point I find it easier to switch my media size over to letter so that I can see how many of these I need to complete a full page. I'm going to start right here and duplicate this and set it in place. We want those lines overlapping. We can grab both, duplicate again, and set that in place as well. We're just going to go through and repeat this process until we have a full line. We can grab all of these, right click and group, and kind of set this in place. We want our hexagons to overlap all of the edges of our page. Now we can take this and duplicate and start setting these in place, and you can really start to see the pattern come together now. I only need a couple more for the bottom here, so let's grab this and duplicate for the last time. And that's really close. There's still a little bit of space left showing, but I think I'm going to select all of these actually and shrink it down just a little bit. Duplicate this one more time, and that looks pretty good. Now we can select all of these, right click and group them together so they don't move around on us. I want to take and set this color fill to white. Open up the trace panel, select trace area, and draw that box out around the whole thing. The outline is going to light up in yellow. We can trace, and this is going to be much easier on the system than this is. And now we're able to fill the lines in, but the background shows through still. I'm going to set this cut line to black as well. We can get rid of the one we just created, select that and delete. And now you can see that if we move this in front of any one of these colors, it makes a completely new page, except for the black one. And we're going to fix that in just a minute. But first we need to do just a little bit more work with our honeycomb outline. We want our outline to be the exact same size as our letter size page. So let's duplicate this so we have each color left still. Select both the honeycomb pattern and your page, center, open up the modify panel and crop. Now this is the perfect size to fit over top of our colored pages. So let's go ahead and duplicate all of these. We can set them right on top. We can duplicate this so we have 4 copies. Let's center them and group. Now we still want a honeycomb pattern for the black, but it is not going to show up if the pattern is black itself. Let's duplicate our gradient background, center these, and crop. Now you can see that that gradient pattern is within our honeycomb outline. We did forget to duplicate this, so let's go ahead and do that now. Make a copy, and I am going to set that to black again, just with the color fill. We can bring this pattern up, bring it to the front, grab both and center them, right click and group. Now you have that color variation on top of the black, and I think that looks super cool. Let's duplicate this one more time because we forgot about this one. Select both of those and center, right click and group. We are now up to 10 different papers in our pack, and next I want to work with the bee. I'm going to grab the black and the dusty pink color here. Let's duplicate them and set them over here by our mat. Head down and bring the bee over as well. Let's right click and bring him to the front. Can fit our mat to the window to see what we're doing. And I want to work with the pink panel first. You can see that we can just take our little vintage bee here, scale it down, and we can duplicate and create a pattern just like we did with the honeycombs. But if you take the bee and set it over on the black paper, that pattern is not going to be great. So we need to figure out another way to get our dark base with the bees. I like to do this with the gradient background. Let's duplicate this, bring it on over. Let's send this black panel to the back. Now we have our bee and our gradient, and I want to shrink the gradient almost all the way down here, and I'm going to rotate the gradient so it's a little bit on a diagonal. Now the gradient is selected. I can hold down the shift key, select the bee as well, go to the modify panel and crop. And now we have the outline of the bee filled in with the gradient color. And we can duplicate that and create a pattern with that. And these are the 2 variations that I came up with, but you can add bees to any one of these sheets and it will look amazing. For my floral pattern, you can see that I just took these roses and duplicated them and set them up in a way that made sense to my eye. Typically, I would be able to take the flowers and the sheet and use the modify panel to crop and cut the edges of the flowers down to size. But because I did not have auto trace on when I brought these images in, that's not working for me right now. I could either take the group of flowers, save it as a PNG, transparent background, and then bring it back in. Or if you're not running Business Edition, you can use the knife tool. You're gonna hold down your shift key and drag that all the way down. And you can see I'm way off there. Let's zoom in on that. And you're just going to pull that over until it lines up with the edge of your paper. Once it's lined up, you can click apply. Now you can grab the pieces that were hanging over the side there and delete. And I missed a couple in there. You can zoom in and clean it up. But that way your edges will be cut straight. This is a roundabout way to do it, but it will work if you forgot to turn your auto trace on. But I really like the roses on the pink, and it also looks really cool with the honeycomb pattern in the back. These are all of the original pages of the paper pack that I created before I started doing the tutorial, and you can see I got a little bit carried away. I also have polka dots and hearts, and I think they'll go with it okay because the color scheme carries through. This pack is listed over on my Podia site for free. The link is in the description, so go ahead and grab that and make sure you work on creating your own. This week over on Facebook, we are working on design tools within Silhouette Studio. There's a lot to learn. If you're not there, you should be. The plan for next week is to take a deep dive into the business edition features so that you can decide if you need it or if you don't. Now go create something amazing, and I will see you in the next video.